Yeah, well, big up DJ Jammers. You're tuned into the Jam Master Show on Bless Radio. Glamour Kid said that. Say,
dynamics, which they are almost afraid to look at.
And I just like to. This is your from I got from you. This is what I got from you. It's basically you are a recording device for your. So basically, everything that happens to you, it's like a computer. It files into your memory bank, and that's what you access.
You're the librarian.
Yes.
Because you basically create a library of all the experiences you've ever had and everything you've gone through.
Yes. And
you have, as they say, an intelligence within you that can help you retrieve all of that information.
Yep.
Yeah? That's where you are. So understand when it comes to when they speak of this thing called the Matrix, all it really is a program that they design in your mind as a child. And all of us are trying to live in this idea that they've created of who we are and how we should be.
And the word the word the matrix is a Latin word meaning a womb. So basically, it's making not being able to depend on yourself and depend on everything else like the robots.
If the Latin word for it is womb, then literally remember the root. You have the women have the womb within their stomach. The men have the womb within their groin. But the womb of your own creation is inside your mind. That's why everyone has to fight for your attention so that they can program your reality. And they can program how you choose to look at yourself and everything else. Because you haven't worked out, all people are doing is building up someone else's story. They can't build up their own story because they don't know their true story.
Right.
And as long as we keep going back to these versions that people have given us to follow, we're still going to be perpetuating nothing. 1,000,000 times 0 still equals 0.
Right. I wonder if I can just ask a question. In terms
please.
of
because it's your birthday coming next tomorrow, you're allowed to, Dougie.
You're allowed to, yeah, Dougie. But yeah, go on.
Ask a question. Just listen to what you're saying. That and I think speaking with Dave, and what you were saying to me that one of the things is that when you have this voice speaking with you, right, this inner voice. He was saying that is the inner child.
The inner child?
It's a child. It's an inner child. It's something. What's happened in the past? Is that child kind of warning you, telling you, and all that stuff there? So I wonder if that's true. Because I mean, what you're saying is really your ancestors really came with you. I just want to see. Yeah, just give some light on.
To be fair, you know what? Everyone is entitled to an opinion. Therefore, they say the truth is in the beholder, in the eye of the beholder. So what someone believes is their reality. But from my understanding and my perception, that inner voice is not you. You can't hear a thing and be the thing at the same time. That's like saying you're seeing a car and you are the car. The fact that you can see and observe a thing means that you are not the thing. All right? But that inner voice that you hear, once you learn to understand it, that can give you any information about anything you want. Okay, it can tell you about another person. If I'm doing a reading, I trust that inner voice to give me the information of what I'm trying to do. If I'm speaking in my own language, I trust what that inner voice says to do what I need to do. And if I want to retrieve a memory, you've never thought in your life. People say, I'm thinking. You're not thinking, you're asking. You're hoping that inner voice within you comes back with an answer. Because if it doesn't, you say, man, I ain't got nothing. So that inner voice is much more. It's literally, as they call it, in the West, they call this term subconscious. Whereas in Africa, they knew that was your inner conscience. And that is your ability to connect with your ancestors and with whatever intelligence you want to talk to. So that voice is much more. Once you follow and understand that voice, Jam will tell you in my class, you don't talk about religion. You don't talk about no inner child or what have you. You understand who you are and what you are. And you realize that thing in your mind has the capacity to look both ways. All that you're looking at when you're looking out at this world is your belief, whatever you've created within your mind, and you're choosing to judge it in whatever way you can. But there's so much more to who you are. Once you wake up and realize that inner voice is not just something, a figment of your imagination, it's the actual intelligence that talks and gives you the information about your imagination. You know, Dougie, there's so much more to this thing, and the problem that we have is sometimes if you don't know, you don't know.
Yeah, and you
don't know, you might create something to basically cover what you don't know.
Yeah,
but this is something we go into and we speak to for hours and do a load of different things based on the whole fact that, to my perception, the inner child is a memory program. It's a lost memory program within you. The fact is, a lot of people don't grow up. And you can hear a big woman or a big man and they're still speaking in the voice of a child. Because there's probably some event that took place in their life that made them stick at that sort of level of maturity. They never got over that point. So therefore, you'll see a grown-up woman and she speaks like a little tiny girl. That you'll go back and ask her, whoa, God, what happened at a certain age? And you'll be able to see that's when she stopped growing up. Because we say people grow older, but they don't necessarily grow up. So therefore, that inner voice, it connects you with your ancestors, connects you with the future, connects you with the past. And without that inner voice, you can't survive. I say to anyone, try and read and don't have that inner voice within you actually give you the words back. You can't read. You're looking at it and say, okay, what does that say? And that inner voice actually gives you the words and says everything out. And you merely just repeat what you hear. Try and read without using that voice. So if that voice is your inner child, your child reads and you can't. Yeah, it's so much more to that inner voice. As we would say, your spirituality is mastering that inner voice and learning how you can use it for everything you need it to do. You use it all the time. Without that inner voice and you constantly asking questions, you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be able to do anything. If I say, I want you to think about this thing, and you, first thing you're going to do is ask a question inside you and wait for that inner voice to come with an answer. So therefore, can it be a child? You use it for everything.
Right. Hold on, say that. You know, you talked about our ancestors. When we use the word subconscious, they use the word inner conscious, you said?
Well, yes, they want to use the word subconscious, but that is your spirit basically communicating with you. You see, the real you uses that energy in order to create everything. But look, your spirit is what they've built on. Yeah? Because you know, when you look at a dead body, the first thing you realize is the spirit is gone, hasn't it? Yeah? So therefore, that spirit which animates the body, all the stories of life, all the things that they want to program, they put it on top of that. Because that is the fertile ground which provides the energy for everything you do to actually take place. So imagine that voice is the same thing that spirit is the same thing you ask everything you do. If you're about to do anything, you know, before you get up in the morning and open your eyes, you ask, what am I going to do today? And then you have a trip into the future where you visualize all the things you might do. Then you have a trip in the past to try and remember all the things you're supposed to do. Yeah? So, you know, we can control these things and do so much more with them. and then just because we're trying to label things as opposed to understand a thing and use a thing. Right. You can't be talking about that, then go into a book about this person said that, that person said that. When people used to come to me and start telling me about book and Bible, I say, forget all of that. What do you say? And if you haven't got an opinion, you're irrelevant. Because I could use the book and then dismiss you. Yeah, you're not relevant if you have to use a book to give relevance to what you have to say. What's your opinion? What do you think? And that's when you realize you depend on that spirit within you to give you the words and the understandings to be able to articulate yourself. Yeah, your ancestors help you because the same thing that you left your parents in the spirit world to come here to meet your parents in this world. Because no religion has created a child yet. Right. It's still a woman that's going to do it, with the help of a man to help create the body. And the original Trinity is the man, the woman, and the consciousness of the child.
And the next thing is,
go on.
I say, if you saw a child going to run in the road, you know, and you're the only person there, you're the only person there, who's going to stop the child from running in the road? A Bible ain't going to stop it, you know. You're the actual, whatever the book is saying, you're the one, it's coming through the experience to stop the child from going in the road. You're the one who activates it because the life energy is flowing through you. So anything that happens in this environment that you're in, you're the one who's in control of it. There's no third party, fourth party, or no book is going to stop that child from getting hit by the car. You're going to go in and do it because in this environment, you're the one that is activating the life force. The book is only a map to how you're supposed to act. And there's no point. If you've got a stat nav and you just follow the stat nav and you don't get out the car, you're not going nowhere. So basically,
well, you don't know anywhere, do you? Mm-hmm. You don't know the route.
Yeah.
If you only ever follow your sat nav and don't remember the journeys like we used to, I know some people that been going on the journey 10 times and still be using their sat nav.
Yeah.
Because they never tried to remember anything.
And that's like the Bible. The Bible's like a stat nav, but people ain't getting out of the stat nav to actually do what it says in there to achieve. You know.
Look, the thing is, the Bible is merely just one book. And there's so many other people that have given every different versions of their creation stories. The Africans have got theirs, the Indians have got theirs, Chinese have got theirs, Native Americans have got theirs. All of these things could be used as a version. The only thing is, none of those people needed to conquer the world so that everyone understood their life.
Mm-hmm. And
come on, the 7 days of the week, which is, what do we call it? A fairy tale. Mm-hmm. Yeah? How did a myth become how we measure time?
Mm-hmm. And the thing is, you know, if you follow the Christian faith, you know, you're breaking two of the commandments every day of the week because it's a jealous God and don't worship no other gods than me. But you have Monday, that's the day for the moon. You have Saturday, that's the day for Saturn. You have Tuesday, which is the day of the war god, Mars. You know, then you have Wednesday, which is the day for Woden. Then you have Thursday, which is the day for Thor. Then you have Friday, which is the Thursday, which is Odin's wife. Then you go to Saturday, which is Saturn's day. So you have no day for your own god that you call it. So you're breaking your commandments every single day of the week. What the hell of a Christian are you? Because when you wake up in the morning and you see someone, you say good morning, which is suffering. Then you say hello, which is hell, what you're preaching against. So what kind of Christian are you? Sorry, I've got to go now.
No worries, Jammers. I just wanted to ride on that. Because if you look at the Latin days of the week, they break down this true story. That the Romans used to worship the shiny ones, the 5 shiny ones.
Right.
That's why you got 365 days of the year.
Oh.
And a circle is only 360. Because they had to give an additional 5 days to the actual gods that they have.
So who are the 5 shiny ones then?
Isn't it? It's not the moon and not the sun. I think it's, what's it? Lundi, Mercury, Jeudi, Vendredi. So that says Mars, Venus.
Oh, hey, yo, where you getting with them Latin words there, man?
Nah, that's what the French say, isn't it? That's what French says. But essentially, if you look at the 5 days that they give in France or in Latin languages, Spanish, all that kind of thing, it all speaks of the stars that they got up in the planets or whatever.
Right.
Because that's what they used to worship, the Romans did. And they introduced that into the whole concept of the 7 days of the week. Yeah. Remember, this is what kills me. When someone comes to me and starts telling me 10,000 years or 15,000 years, the concept of a year is not even 2,000 years old. Because remember, when these people believed that the earth traveled, the planets traveled around the earth, remember, they used to say, well, the earth was flat and the earth was the center of the whatever. And Galileo basically came and said that no, the earth is actually traveling around the sun.
Right.
All right, so that wasn't until the 5th century or something like that. So if that was in the 5th century and no one believed anything to the contrary before that, when did they get the concept of that the earth travels around the sun, and they equate that as a year?
I see what you're saying on that one.
Yeah?
That's madness, you know. And then the next thing is, how can you start time when you feel you want to start time? And then you can work out what happened before you from there. I mean,
well, this is where we laugh, because anything that happened before they created the concept of time in a year is just belief. All this stuff about 325 AD, 600 AD, who was measuring it?
That's right.
No one was. It's all belief system. All that BC is all bull crap.
And the thing is, if you was in denial, ignorance, and at war with people, how could you remember when you wasn't even in that? It's like you come at a movie halfway through and you're telling everybody how the story started.
Look, Jammers, how could you tell me what was happening in Africa when you was in England?
And how long ago it was?
You say what happened 1,000 years ago.
Yeah.
When you lived, you was there in England at the time.
Yeah.
And you go to the people and say, what was happening 1,000 years ago?
And
they say, what is a year?
And if you ask one of them, man, what colour shirt was you wearing this time last year? They couldn't answer you. So how are they going to tell you what happened?
It's not that. They don't use the measurement of time. They don't have the concept of time. They say the land before time began in Africa was when slavery started. Because they didn't measure anything by this calendar system. Yeah, they didn't have years, months, all that kind of thing. They had their own versions, but then they didn't write it down. So therefore, when you're going to someone and say, what happened 10,000 years ago? What's 10 years? What 10,000? What the hell does that mean?
And they didn't have any writing appliances because the Chinese invented paper, and before that we was using parapets to write. So they never even had no writing to record anything.
In all honesty, when you think logically, you wake up, you realize when you're saying certain things, it's really based on belief, not making any sense. Yeah, one of my favorite new ones. What was Jacob's real name? You know, all these guys speak about in the Bible where Jacob had to fight with Israel, or had to fight with the devil, and then became Israel. No, do you not know how the concept of Israel came around?
No, can you break it down?
Break it down to us.
All right, in the Bible, apparently, Jacob had a fight with the devil, and I'm not sure how the fight turned out. Obviously, he survived. But then after that point, they said you'll be known as Israel. And then when you get all these they say we're from Israel or from Israelites. It's all based off that story. But what was Jacob's name? We know that the word J didn't exist.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
So we know
you got a side swipe on me on that one. I should have spotted that, man.
You know the word Jews didn't exist. Come on.
Because there's no J.
Wake up. There's no J. So Jews never existed. Jacob never existed. Not till the 16th century.
Listen, I've got to go. I'm going to be kicking myself because I didn't even see that one there. You got me again anyway. But till next time, I'll see you on Sunday.
You've got me again. Time. See you Sunday.
Dougie, happy birthday, big up. Bless all the listeners. Keep the spirit, and we're going to maximise our full potential. Remember, we control time if you activate your third eye. Right.
All right then. So, Hesketh,
Yes.
Your thing about sorry, Edison.
Don't worry.
Sorry, Edison.
I know you're talking to since I'm on the line.
Sorry.
Go.
Edison.
Okay.
You kind of catch me there because your thing about the J, no. So you said that the Jews didn't exist.
The word Jews did not exist.
And Jacob and so forth.
None of them.
All right then.
Not by that name.
Okay then. So all right then. Anyway, we have Auntie June inside the house. Yeah.
Excellent. Good evening.
Auntie June inside the house.
Greetings. How you doing?
I'm very well. How you doing? You okay?
I'm great, thank you.
Excellent. It's a long time no see.
Yes. Hopefully it won't be too long before we see each other still.
No, definitely. How did your last event go?
It was quiet, but it was really good. It was what's the word that Chief Hamlock said? Blessed day. Because I had a chance to talk with people and find out a bit more about people, and a lot of networking was done and a lot of contacts to link with other things that other people are doing and what I'm doing as well. So in a way it was quiet on one side, but it was really good on the other, if you get what I mean. So it was good balance.
Excellent. Everything is an opportunity.
That's right.
Okay then.
Brilliant.
Let me I was gonna ask you, let people know about the event you do on a Sunday, please, Edison.
Well, no, I'm going to start a new course in September. The flyers are going to come out in the next week or so. It'll be a 12-week course, and we're going to be doing it in East London. I'm going to go back to Eden. It's only because I've got a good relationship there, and a black-owned company. Selling their products. I want to try and stay within that sort of energy field as much as I can.
That's good.
There's no point. I could look for somewhere else and give someone else money, but I know that it's going straight into a black man's hands.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping when the Garvey Village is up and running, you'll be doing your courses down there in South East.
When I don't mind. We've still got one plan for the South East.
Excellent.
But I know these are 12-week courses. We just finished one in the city earlier this year, but we're going back east so we can put the money in our pockets instead of someone else's pockets. And that will be quite a revelation, hopefully. We're going to go through all the syllabus we did earlier and get people to the point where they start to think and trust themselves.
Right.
Because that's the main thing. There's no point putting your faith in this or that. Put it in yourself, because you're the one who has to get up and do what you need to do.
That's true. That's true.
The dishes never wash themselves. Well, you're the only one in the room.
Well said. So let people know your website and your
no problem.
Facebook, whatever.
Well, Facebook has been there for years, but we have a website, ancestralessence.com, where people can go and purchase our oils now, and they can book for readings as well. Where we do an ancestral reading, show you how to connect with your ancestors, and then try and work out a way we can help you with whatever's going on around you. A lot of us are suffering from our past. And I'm not talking about slavery past, I'm talking about events that we've gone through our childhood, for our adulthood, and what we're currently going through. So we try and look at the reasons for that, how you can get out of your own way, and how you can let your ancestors or parents, because your parents just want to work with you to help you fix solutions like they've done all their lives. And that's what we really want to do. Try and keep it as simple as possible to let you know you got the power to help yourself.
Okay then. Okay.
Really good.
Okay then. All right then. So again, Edison. So
yes,
your Facebook again, please, and your website.
Ancestralessence.com is our website, and just go to find me on Ancestral Essence. and we have a load of articles there pertaining to all things regarding African spirituality, or you as an African in this reality.
Okay then. All right, then. Edison, give thanks, yeah?
No worries.
Really
Dougie, enjoy it tomorrow, my friend.
All right then.
Bye, Auntie Jean.
Bye,
We'll speak to you all soon.
Yes,
okay?
brilliant. Thank
Take
you.
care.
Take care.
All
Bye.
right. Bye now. Bye. Bye.
Okay, then that was Edison with us.
Hello, mate.
Wagwan,
What day of the week is it?
what you ask me them question for?
I just wanted to know.
It's Thursday.
Oh,
And you know what I go on Thursday?
no, tell me, mate.
It's the Jam Master Show
Alright,
on Bless Radio.
nice one.
Things sweet like Jamaican mango. Put a G on a O, that spells go.
Love it, mate.
Remember to turn on your radio and switch on your stereo.
Alright, I'm doing that now.
Oh, DJ Jammers I play right now.
Cheers.